Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday School here at MUMC. We are so glad that you're tuning in with us. We got a lot of fun things planned. I just want to share just a few announcements. The first is today is the third installment of Mitch's sermon series, More Than Memories, and he's going to be talking about kids and confirmation and coffee and conversation. So make sure that you tune back in at 10 to watch worship with us. I also want to let you know that this is Sunday School for everybody. So we have stuff for the adults and stuff for the kids and for everybody in between that. So we got a lot of fun things planned. There is a time where you can comment and interact with us. So just make sure that if you're doing that, that you're aware that the video will pause and you can just click right back in. And anytime you need to pause it, you can do that and we'll still be here waiting for you. I'm going to jump right into the trivia question. Today's question, I think, is pretty simple, hopefully. It's, what was the primary language that Jesus spoke? A, Hebrew, B, Aramaic, C, Latin, D, Pig Latin, E, Greek. I'm going to read it again. What was the primary language that Jesus spoke? A, Hebrew, B, Aramaic, C, Latin, D, Pig Latin, E, Greek. So while you guys are kind of thinking about that, figuring out which is the correct answer, I just want to remind you that for an activity later, you're going to need some supplies. First one is a Bible. It's always good to have. And then you're going to need paper plates, markers, paper, scissors, tape or glue, and string. I know that's a little bit more than some of the other activities, so if you need to, you can pause this video and go see if you have everything now. It was paper plates, markers, paper, scissors, tape or glue, and string. And that's all going to be for the activity later, so it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, hopefully you've had some time. I'm going to read the question again, and then I'll reveal the answer. What was the primary language that Jesus spoke? A, Hebrew, B, Aramaic, C, Latin, D, Pig Latin, E, Greek. Okay, now's the time. Lock in your answer. You can comment. The correct answer was not Pig Latin. I always think it's funny when Mitch throws in something. The correct answer was B, Aramaic. Most of the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and most of the New Testament was written in Greek. But Jesus and the people in his area, or from his area, spoke Aramaic, which shows up some in both the New and the Old Testaments. So there you go. That's our question for today. And Mitch is going to come up and share some scriptures.
Hi there. We have two scriptures today. Kylie's going to introduce one of those in just a minute, so I'm going to read the other one. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 to 25. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. All right, here's Kylie.
All right, you guys ready for some trivia? Not trivia, the memory verse. Here's Ovis. It's Ovis's memory verse, so we got to have Ovis out here. All right, so our memory verse today comes from Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. So, say it with me. For where two or three gather in my name, there am I with them. Okay. A little bit harder. We'll go a little bit harder. For where two or three gather in my name,
there am I with them.
Matthew 18:20. All right, how about a little bit harder? Here we go. For where two or three gather in my name,
there am I with them.
Matthew 18:20.
All
right, last time, guys. Super hard this time.
For where two or three gather in my name, there am I with them.
Matthew 18:20. Good job, guys. All right, Janelle's going to come and read a children's book.
All right, this story is called Luke Goes to Bat. It was Brooklyn, it was summer, it was baseball. All day long, the kids on Bedford Avenue played stickball in the streets. Except for Luke. When you're older, his big brother said. He's just a squirt, one of the other kids said, laughing. So Luke watched the games from the curb, and then he'd practice. He threw a ball against the wall next to the deli. He practiced his swing over and over again. He ran as fast as he could up and down the block. He wanted to be ready when it was time. And at night, whenever the Dodgers were playing, Luke hurried up to the roof where he could see the lights of Ebbets Field. When he heard the crowd go wild, he imagined his favorite player, Jackie Robinson, had hit a home run. Someday, Luke thought, I will hit a home run too. Finally, one morning, the team was short a player. Frankie had to go to his aunt's. Who we gonna get? Hey, said Luke, what about me? Everyone was quiet. Aw, come on, said his brother. Give him a chance. We got nobody else. He better not mess up. They put him in left field. No balls came his way, so he just stood there. When it was his turn up at bat, Luke took a few practice swings, then stepped up to the plate. I'll show them, Luke muttered. The ball whizzed past. Strike one. Luke held the bat tighter. Strike two. Luke was barely in position when the next ball flew past and the catcher yelled, out! You stink, Luke heard. He got up to bat one more time, but struck out again. Sometimes it just goes that way, his brother told him. Frankie came back in the afternoon, so Luke spent the rest of the day on the curb. He was sure they'd never let him play again. Grandma was in the kitchen when he got home. I finally got a chance to play with the team, Luke told her. Grandma could tell that the game hadn't gone well. Not everyone plays like Jackie Robinson all the time, she said. Not even Jackie Robinson. Luke didn't smile. By the way, Grandma said, are you doing anything tomorrow night? Luke shrugged. Well, if you're so busy, someone else will have to go with me to the game at Ebbets Field. What? You mean a real game? Grandma held up 2 tickets. Ebbets Field was ablaze with lights. But this time, Luke didn't have to imagine the game. Thanks for taking me, Grandma, he said. They watched the Dodgers and Phillies battle it out. The game went into extra innings. By the time the Dodgers got up to bat in the bottom of the 14th inning, the score was still tied, 8-8. With 2 outs, Jackie Robinson was up. The crowd roared. Come on, Jackie, yelled Luke. The pitcher threw a curveball. Jackie swung. Strike one, the umpire called. The pitcher wound up. He threw a fastball and Jackie missed. Strike two. 3 balls followed. All eyes at Ebbets Field rested on Jackie. The Dodgers could still win. Luke shouted with the crowd, Give it to him, Jackie, you show him. Jackie looked around from under his cap, then dug his feet into the dirt. The pitcher began his windup. You can do it, Jackie, Luke whispered. You can do it. Suddenly, Luke heard the loud crack of a bat. When he looked up, the ball was flying over his head, flying over the scoreboard, flying over the walls of Ebbets Field. The crowd went wild. Luke stood up on his seat and cheered. You showed him, Jackie. What a game, Grandma said. See, you can't give up. Even Jackie Robinson's got to keep trying. Luke didn't answer. When Luke got home, he ran up to the roof. The lights were going out at Ebbets Field. "Come on down, it's bedtime," his brother called. Just then, Luke saw a ball lying on the ground. "Look," he said, picking it up. "This is the home run ball that Jackie Robinson hit tonight." "Nah, that's just some old ball a kid hit up on the roof," Nick said, laughing, as he went downstairs. And that's when Luke saw him. It was Jackie Robinson himself. "I hit that one for you, kid." Before Luke could say a word, Jackie ran to the dugout to join the other Dodgers, but he looked back one more time. "Hey, kid," he said. "Your grandma was right. You can't give up." "Thanks, Mr. Robinson." The final lights went out at Ebbets Field. Luke looked down at the winning ball and smiled. "I won't," he whispered to himself. And he didn't. And that's our story for today.
Great story for all of us sports-deprived people. We're going to shift gears now to some tidbits for today that might appeal to some of our elder crowd. Today is a special day in the church year that we are not actually paying attention to very much, and many years people don't. But it's called Ascension Sunday. And it's the Sunday before Pentecost, which we will pay attention to next week. Ascension Sunday, if you remember, it's the story of Jesus saying goodbye to his disciples after this time, after Easter and the resurrection. And then he goes up into the sky and into the clouds, and the disciples are there watching, and a couple angels are there saying, "What are you looking up there for? He's going to come back the same way he came." That story is in the book of Acts. What's interesting is that the book of Acts is part 2 of a 2-book set that was written by the same person who wrote Luke. So we call it Luke Acts. Even though they're not together in the Bible, they really belong together. Well, there's an ascension story at the end of Luke that's a little bit different from this one. It's like Luke got done writing the Gospel of Luke and then decided, I really should flesh out that ascension story a little more in Acts. So you can look at the end of Luke and the beginning of Acts to see how those are a little bit different. There was a lot of ascension stuff back then. It wasn't super common, but it was part of the cultural mindset that there were people that would go up and go to God like that. And it's talked about in the Bible in several places. The Gospel of John mentions it. Romans, Ephesians, Colossians, Philippians, Timothy, 1 Peter. Those are all places that talk about the ascension. The Apostles' Creed that we say together says, he ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. That comes right out of one of the Psalms that talks about that. Interesting thing about it is that we know what's up there now. They didn't know back then. So a lot of writers and scholars think that this wasn't supposed to talk about heaven as someplace up just above the clouds, but that is a story that expressed the power and majesty of Jesus leaving this earthly realm to be with God. You want to know something interesting? Jesus is not the only person in the Bible who ascends. Jews would have been familiar with these, some which are right out of the Bible, some kind of connected. Enoch, Ezra, Baruch, Levi, Elijah, and the children of Job. So that's interesting to think about. That was something that was talked about. Of course, here with Jesus, it was in a profound way. Already by the 3rd century, the scholar named Origen, he was talking about the ascension in a mystical way, not necessarily a literal way. So that means you don't have to go outside and look up at the clouds to wonder where Jesus is. But if you want to, I hope the weather's nice. All right, here's our activity.
All right, so here's an activity for all ages. Do you guys know what weekend it is? It's Memorial Weekend. So what do a lot of people put outside their houses Memorial Weekend? A lot of red, white, and blue. So today we're going to do a few crafts of red, white, and blue, but before we do that, what is Memorial Day? As a family or a couple, or even if you're on your own, think about what Memorial Day is. What does it mean to you? So Memorial Day is when we celebrate our freedom. Freedom to attend school, church, and work. Freedom to go to the movie theaters. However, our freedom came with a price. So there were many men and women who went out and sacrificed their life in the military to give us the life that we have. Also, Jesus sacrificed himself by dying on the cross so our sins could be forgiven. So, yes, most of us get the day off from work. We spend Memorial Day at the lake or barbecuing with friends and family. However, it's important for us to remember exactly what Memorial Day is and why we get that off. So, just to help you guys get some red, white, and blue out in your house, in front of your house, or wherever you're at. If you go to the lake this weekend in your camper, take it there. So the first one is just a patriotic wind catcher. So this one you're going to need 2 paper plates. So the first one, you just take the inner circle and you make red lines, and then you're going to cut it in a spiral so it will come out and hang like this. And then the second plate, or you can use paper, you can make a blue star for your red, white, and blue. Then I just took fishing line, and you can just hang it just like that. So this is one option. And then the second option is just a wreath. Looks like a flag. You have the red, white, and blue. And then this is also just on a paper plate. So I actually took the paper plate, the edge that I cut this one out of, and cut out different stars. If you just have white paper, you can color them red and blue. And then I just glued these on here. And then again with fishing line, I hung it. So you can hang a little wreath outside of your house. So these are just a fun little activity you can do if you want. You can put a cross on it. So yeah, take these outside and just be reminded of Memorial Day and what that actually means. Not just a fun day off from work or school or whatever. So, all right, so those are the activities. Make one or both and post them. Let us see what you guys have done. Or if you had a different idea and you guys did something different, let us know. We'd love to see them. Also, if you want to let us know, comment in the video of what does Memorial Day mean to you? What do you guys do for Memorial Day? How do you celebrate? So, all right, challenge. Last week, your challenge was to go and order takeout from a local restaurant. Did you guys do it? How was it? I hope you were able to participate in that and help out the local here. So, your challenge for this week, with tomorrow being Memorial Day, your challenge is to thank a veteran or thank someone who is currently in the military. So if you are out and about, say you're in the store, you see someone with their uniform on, take a minute and just say, thank you for your service. If you see a veteran, maybe they have their hat on that says that they're a veteran, thank them for their service. If you know someone personally that is in the military or that is retired veteran, send them a note and tell them thank you. So just a small little way that we can thank others. So, all right, a few announcements real fast. Make sure you join us next week, same time, Sunday school at 9:30, worship at 10 a.m. Don't forget you have to click out of this video and then click into the worship video right after this. Also, next week is Pentecost. So make sure you wear your red. Even though you're going to be at home, wear your red, participate. You can take a picture and let us know that you wore your red. So here's Janelle to pray us out.
All right, will you pray with me? God, thank you for the day that you've given us and for allowing us to be a part of it. We thank you for all of the gifts that you give us and will continue to give us. We're so grateful for all of the things that we have because of you. Lord, we ask that you would just continue to be with us and give us peace and comfort in this time, and that you would just keep guiding us through all of this. We love you so much, and we thank you for all that you do. In your name, amen. All right, we will see you for worship in just a little bit.